Okay, so imagine you're trying to print a book, but the instructions for how to, actually bind the pages are hidden inside the story itself.
Right. And if the text repeats.
Exactly. If the same sentence is on page 5 and page 50, you might just accidentally glue the wrong chapters together.
And that's basically been the fundamental flaw in how we've been trying to build DNA.
But this new Sidewinder paper, it seems to completely change the game. They've figured out how to separate the assembly instructions from the genetic code.
It's a huge deal. It tackles what we call the construction barrier in synthetic biology.
And it's a barrier we should probably talk about. We're great at reading DNA, with sequencing. We're getting really good at editing it with CRISPR.
But writing it from scratch, that has always been the massive bottleneck.
So what are the old tools like Gibson assembly doing wrong?
It's not that they're wrong, just limited. They rely on two-way junctions. So you take two DNA fragments and you hope their ends match up and stick together.
Which works for simple things, I assume.
It works fine. But when it gets complex or repetitive, if the ends of fragment A look the same as fragment C, the whole system just gets confused. You get a mess.
So this is where Sidewinder's big idea comes in, the DNA three-way junction.
This is the clever part. Instead of relying on the gene sequence, they add these transient barcode strands to the ends of each fragment.
Like molecular page numbers, a temporary scaffolding system.
That's a great way to put it. These barcodes are chemically different from the gene. They snap together in a very specific Y shape. That's your three-way junction.
And that pulls the correct DNA fragments together, with the gene itself just kind of along for the ride.
Precisely. Then, once everything is connected, a polymerase enzyme comes in and just unzips the scaffolding.
It removes the barcodes completely.
Completely. You're left with a perfect seamless gene, no scars. The assembly logic is totally decoupled from the genetic content. The page numbers guide the binding, and then they just disappear.
Okay, that's the theory. But how did they test it? I saw they went for the Lux Operon, which is ambitious.
It's a nightmare build. They tried a 40-piece assembly in a single pot, all at once.
40 pieces. I mean, with standard methods, efficiency falls off a cliff after what, 5 or 6?
If you're lucky. And Sidewinder didn't just handle it, it nailed it.
What were the numbers?
When they sequenced the results, 96.72% of the assembled products were the correct full-length operon.
That is incredible. And the error rate itself.
The misconnection rate at those junctions was about 1 in a million.
1 in a million. So you're getting scale and fidelity.
A level of fidelity we just haven't seen before with these big assemblies.
I want to pause here for a second because this really gets to the core of it. If your assembly instructions are totally external, if they're in those barcodes, what does that mean for sequences we used to think were, impossible to build?
That's the real aha moment, isn't it? It implies that the internal content, no matter how repetitive, shouldn't matter anymore.
So to prove it, they went straight for the boss level, H. fibroin.
Spider silk. Notoriously, ridiculously repetitive. And to make it even harder, they designed the fragments to have identical connecting ends.
So with the old methods, it would be physically impossible. The fragments would have just bound randomly.
A complete lottery. But because Sidewinder used unique barcodes to direct the traffic,
It assembled perfectly.
the external logic just overrode the repetitive content. It didn't care.
This feels like the manufacturing breakthrough we've been waiting for. We have these AI tools like AlphaFold designing incredible new proteins.
Proteins that could capture carbon or act as new medicines, but that are often really complex.
But we've been stuck. We have the software to design them, but not the hardware to actually build them.
Sidewinder is that hardware. It's the high-fidelity 3D printer for our AI blueprints.
It opens the door to, de novo genome writing? Not just tweaking a yeast cell, but printing a whole new metabolic pathways from scratch.
It really does bridge that gap between the digital design and the biological reality.
Okay, so let's pin this to the wall. 3 big takeaways first.
Sidewinder uses three-way junctions and those temporary barcodes to completely separate assembly instructions from the genetic code itself.
Second, it shatters the scaling barrier. We're talking a 40-fragment assembly that worked almost perfectly.
Yeah, with a 1 in a million error rate. Just incredible performance.
And third, this unlocks our ability to physically create the complex, repetitive DNA that AI models are designing right now.
It turns unbuildable theory into actual practice.
So here's a final thought for you to mull over. If we can now write complex, error-free genomes from scratch, are we moving past just editing life and into truly authoring it?
And if we're the authors, we have to be very, very careful about the stories we choose to write.
Thanks for diving in with us.
Welcome to the Everyday Journal Club. I'm Hope. a biologist with 15 years of research experience, now fortunate to be working in a Nobel Prize winning lab. This channel has three main goals. One, to help you stay effortlessly updated on the latest scientific breakthroughs. No paywalls, no jargon overload. Two, to build a supportive community where we can exchange the most valuable experience based research advice. Three, to share valuable strategies and concrete examples on how to achieve meaningful scientific breakthroughs. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll begin releasing content focused on the third goal. Let's go! Let's make great science together.